You guys remember youth group on Zoom? I know we started meeting in person only a month ago, but it feels like such a long time ago. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I think the last thing we did was the cooking show, or maybe it was one of the last things we did. Anyway, one of you told me that you had tried my breakfast quesadilla, and man, did that make my heart soar. Ugh, it's so good. If you haven't tried it yet, then I can teach you, and it will change your world. I bring that up because my wife Darcy, she's super into baking, primarily cake. She likes baking things in general, but there is just something about cake that she absolutely loves. And do you want to know what one of the primary ingredients for baking cake is? Salt. If you've ever baked something, then you know there's generally a specific list of ingredients and directions that you have to follow in order to get the finished product just right, or in order to get the finished product just the way you like it. And salt is typically one of those ingredients for cake. It's really weird to think about because cake is sweet and salt is, well, salty. But if you leave it out, the cake isn't the same. The sweetness of the cake actually is not the same. The whole thing is thrown off. What if I told you the same thing was true about your faith? Jesus' brother once said, "Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking in anything." What Jesus' brother, his name is James, is saying is our faith needs perseverance in difficult circumstances. It needs courage in hard times. It needs endurance in painful moments. The capacity to keep moving forward and to not give up. Just like cake without salt, faith without difficulty does not lead to the intended result. All of those things work together to help transform us into mature Christians, into complete followers of Jesus. Which, as followers of Jesus, isn't that really all we want in the end? To simply follow him well, for him to look at us and say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant"? You see, salt on its own, it doesn't taste the best. In fact, too much of it actually can sting. And in the same way, hardships and difficulty on their own is often just the worst thing to experience. But isn't the taste of cake worth the tiny amount of salt that goes into it? Isn't the goal of our faith worth the journey in it, or the journey of it, regardless of the difficulties that come along the way? Isn't it worth it? It most definitely is. Which is why it's important for us to keep our heart and our mind and our soul directed towards that big picture. So this morning, take a moment and pray that God would develop the qualities of perseverance and courage within you as you continue on what may be a fairly difficult journey of faith.